and welcome to another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On the program today, we speak with the first female managing director of Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Oyeyimika Adeboye, on the efforts made to develop the society. Also, the managing director of Ladol, Dr. Amy Jadesimi, tells us about the impact made through social corporate responsible initiatives of the organization. Once again, welcome to the program. The origin of Cadbury Nigeria PLC dates back to the 1950s, when the business was founded as an operation to source cocoa beans from Nigeria. In the early 1960s, an initial operation was established to repack imported bulk products. This packaging operation grew rapidly into a fully-fledged manufacturing operation and resulted in the incorporation of Cadbury Nigeria Limited in January 1965. In 1976, the company became a publicly listed company with shares traded locally on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Cadbury Nigeria has grown to become a household name, providing consumers with much-loved iconic brands focused on nourishing and delighting its consumers with the right snacks. So I began my conversation with the managing director of Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Oyeyimika Adeboye, by asking how much delight the company has brought to those in need.
As a company, our business is focused on snacking. Cadbury, with a holding company as Mondelez, is a global company, and we're a snacking company. And one of the things we say in our mission as a global company is that we provide the right snacking, so we enable people to snack right. In Nigeria, obviously, snacking is a big thing, more for the younger children, and also for women and adults. So in terms of just bringing relief to the needy people in Nigeria, we do a range of things, ranging from, helping children. So we do a lot of things with schools, helping our communities. We are located in Agidingbi, and our host community is the Agidingbi community, and we do a lot in supporting that community. And of recent, with the entire COVID issue, Cadbury has been very, very active in supporting communities across the country where we operate.
You seem to pay a lot of attention on children. I know you just concluded the Boot Camp Pan Nigeria for Children. Tell us why you decided to choose this category of people.
So our biggest brand, the most iconic brand in our portfolio, is Bonvita. And Bonvita is synonymous with children. Probably 65 to 70% of our consumers for Bonvita are children. So it's natural to support children as they grow. So the boot camp, for example, was something that we had been doing physically. And what we do is we allow children to compete for spaces. We have a space for about, I think, 250 children. When they compete, they go to the boot camp, and I believe the boot camp is for about 10 days. But this year with COVID and the limitation to movement, we decided to do a boot camp virtually. And to our greatest amazement, we had so many applications. It enabled us to do more. Because with the physical one, obviously, you have a limitation to how many children you can put in the camp. But with the virtual one, there really wasn't that much of a limitation. So we were able to take more children into the boot camp. And, the reports we had and results we had was very good. Technology is the thing now, so why not?
Now, talking about children, Cadbury has a CSR project called Nutrition and Healthy Lifestyle. Tell us what this is about.
In 2018, our global company, Mondelez International, and obviously us, Cadbury, decided to partner with Helen Keller International. The Mondelez Foundation itself started this project across the world, putting in an amount of money as a budget over a 3-year period, essentially to ensure healthy nutrition for children. As a snacking company, we do want children to snack, but we want them to snack right. So what we decided to do was to, ensure that children understand the importance of nutrition, to avoid overweight, because obesity is an issue, to also avoid underweight, making sure that children are properly fed, right nutrition, right vitamins, minerals, and so on and so forth. So we partnered with schools, because at the end of the day, you need the schools, you need the children to understand in the environment where they're learning. So we've partnered with schools, starting from Lagos State actually, and we've done quite a lot of work with, I believe, about 6 or 8 schools, first in our own host community. So the Agidingbi community schools benefited first, and a few other schools across Lagos. Essentially to just teach the children. We've got They've got farms growing the right products. They've got classes just teaching them all the vitamins, what they're good for, what's good for you, what's not good for you, combinations of food and so on and so forth. So the whole idea is just to educate children and hopefully, put them in a place where as they grow up in life, they understand the benefits of what they're putting inside of them.
Now, there are programs that Cadbury has done or is doing in improving education in Nigeria, even if it means training teachers or parents to encourage education.
Of course, over the years, we've had many interventions for teachers and students. A few years ago, we started running the Cadbury Bonvita Teachers Award, where teachers are generally encouraged to design programs for their children. And this project is then marked. When I say marked, the judges who will judge, and the winners are given a gift. We've also had the Cadbury Bonvita Children's Magic Flight over the years. Incidentally, recently we just started what we call the Bond Factor. The Bond Factor is more around talent. So we go to schools and the children in the school perform, and the top 3 schools win a prize. Last year's award was quite interesting. We had 3 top schools, and the prize money was ₦1 million for the winning school. We spent about ₦5 million across the winning group. But it was quite good because it was also going to the talents of the children beyond the things that they learn in their normal curriculum, looking at extra curriculum, because today art and talent is big, and we want to also encourage our children to explore those areas. So on education and children, with the Helen Keller program that I mentioned, we spent $1 million. We will, at the end of this year, we would have spent $1 million. The program, as I said, is a 3-year program. We started in 2018. We're spreading this message across various primary schools. The budget is pretty big, $1 million. We expect that we will touch enough lives and would have that impact to have in the lives of these children.
Some organizations encourage volunteering activities that would impact positively on the lives of the less privileged in the society. Tell us what the Cadbury experience is like.
This volunteering and being part of our community is a big deal for us. As a global company, we even have various initiatives that almost every entity in the Mondelez life, Mondelez business, would participate in. One example is what we call a Purpose Week, and the purpose is to support our communities. For that purpose, each team, so various functions in the company, finance, HR, commercial, sales, manufacturing, each team will pick what they want to support, and they're encouraged to go out and do whatever it is they want to do. In my former life as a finance director, for example, when I was in finance, my finance team went to it's like a home for children who are disadvantaged and challenged physically, and we spent the day there just before Christmas. We essentially cleaned up their rooms, cleaned up their entire facility, and then we gave to them, donated a lot of products to them, not just our own products, but things that we know they would need, diapers, toiletries, and so on and so forth. So that's one thing we do as a business. We also have what we call the Volunteer Week, where we volunteer again to support our communities. Again, employees are encouraged to do this. We make t-shirts for our employees. We go out as a team and we volunteer across our communities. Another thing that we do when we have, in the days when people can travel, today it's a bit difficult, but we would have visitors from our global companies. And we always make sure that when we have top level visitors coming, they do some community service. We take them, we choose where we want them to go to, we take them there, and they would roll up their sleeves, wear t-shirts, get on their knees and scrub the floor. Just to set the example and the tone for the rest of the business that even if you're the CEO of Mondelez, you will still do this. One of the things we've done over the years, given what has happened in the northeast of Nigeria, is to continue to support the internally displaced persons across the country. And for the 3rd year running, we've donated to the IDP camp. In 2019, we donated through the United Nations refugee team. We're very proud of this because at the point when we're doing this, there was a huge cry from the UN for Nigeria to support its own in these refugee camps. The team came to our offices, we had conversations on how we can support, and our products were taken to quite a lot of people actually.
As an organization focused on nutrition and health, tell us some of your greatest achievements in that sector.
Cadbury Bonvita is the first food drink to be endorsed by the Nutritional Society of Nigeria. We're proud of that. For me, one of the biggest one was the effort we made to ensure that our product had all the necessary ingredients and minerals and vitamins, and then getting endorsement from the Nutritional Society of Nigeria, particularly for Bonvita, which is a healthy drink, is a nutritious drink. So we have the Nutritional Society of Nigeria check our product, check the attributes of our product, try it, give it to children, give it to mothers, and then endorse us for that purpose. We also do various other things for mothers. We support the breast cancer awareness scheme that a few organizations are doing, where mobile clinics go to communities. They screen women for free, and we believe that Bonvita is a brand that can support that. So Bonvita as a brand is a key support that we use for breast cancer awareness, and we do this across Nigeria.
Cadbury was one of the companies that responded to the clarion call in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Tell us some of the strategies that you were able to deploy to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic.
For our business as a food and beverage business, I think it was pretty easy for us to figure out how we could help. While there was a lot of requirement for medical supplies, for all sorts of pharmaceutical help, we felt the first thing that people want is to be fed. So we decided, first of all, the communities where we operate in, how can we help in terms of feeding? So we worked with various state governments, across Nigeria, to provide some of our iconic beverages, Bonvita, hot chocolate, to communities so that they can have the beverage, which is very nutritious anyway. Our beverages are chocolate-based and it has all the vitamins in it. We worked with government. We worked directly with their food banks. Each state, almost every state in Nigeria had a food bank. So it was pretty easy to connect with the states and to make sure that the products are delivered to the state. And our teams on the field worked, we have various teams in different divisions. Each team worked with the state government to ensure that our beverages got to the right people. We spent about 50 million naira in that. We also donated face masks to various communities because obviously some communities, people can't afford to buy their own face mask. And so we donated a few face masks across these communities.
Due to manufacturing activities in some of your factories, residents might be prone to health risks. What is your organization doing in keeping the environment clean and safe, especially for your customers and your host community? So
our company at first is very, very careful in terms of the environment. We believe that our communities must not, if they know that we're in their environment, we're there for good, not for anything to harm them. So we've won many awards coming from first certification, ISO certification, which is very important anyway when you're in manufacturing. We have an effluent treatment plant, so whatever water we use here, when we send it out into the ground, we send clean water out, it's treated and it's clean and it will not harm the community. We obviously generate power, but our power generation is coming from a completely soundproof generator. You're sitting in my office now, I'm sure you can't hear anything. The generator itself is also run on gas, which is more efficient than diesel. This is part of what we do to the environment. A lot of our packaging materials are environmentally friendly. The jars for Bonvita, for example, the boxes that we use, we call them shippers, they're all using recyclable material, which is good for the environment. We also, as part of one of the things we do, we have been providing water to our host community for over 20 years. Good portable water for the community in Agijingbi. This is at our own expense. We intend to do so long as we're here. This is the commitment that we made to our community, just to make sure that they know that they will continue to benefit from us.
Going forward, what will Cadbury be doing in the future in terms of corporate social responsibility so that more lives can be touched?
As I mentioned earlier, being responsible in our community is really important to us. It's part of our DNA, and we will continue to do so. As a group, the Mondelez Group, which Cadbury Nigeria is a subsidiary of, will continue to support our communities directly and indirectly over the years. It is something that we will do. I don't believe we will stop doing it. I think it's something every company should do. As you survive in a community, as you live in a community, as you operate in a community, there are things that you can do to continue to support the communities. What we need to always do is to identify what is relevant to our community that we can do safely and properly to add value to that community.
When we return, we'll be talking to another remarkable woman. She's the managing director of oil and gas company Ladol. Stay with us. Welcome back. Ladol is the first base specifically designed to meet the logistical needs of deep-water offshore oil and gas operations and projects in and around Nigeria, created to ensure that the nation benefits directly from its deep offshore oil and gas reserves. The base provides all logistical services, including warehousing, material handling equipment, fabrication and assembly yards, people management, catering, bunkering of fuel and water, facilities for the supply of bulk materials, and much more. My guest is Dr. Amy Jadesimi. She is the Managing Director of Ladol. In 2013, she was awarded Young Global Leader by the World Economic Forum and a Rising Talent by the Women's Forum for Economy and Society. In 2015, Forbes included her in the 20 youngest power women in Africa. Let's find out if this has in any way pushed her to do more for women.
One of the most important things to remember when supporting women is the economic benefit this brings to the world. So I was one of 33 CEOs on the Business and Sustainable Development Commission. And one of the reports we produced was called Women Leading on the SDGs. And that's about how you cannot achieve the SDGs, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, unless you first achieve Goal 5, which is about female empowerment. And if you achieve Goal 5, McKinsey Research Institute has concluded that that will increase global GDP by $28 trillion. So this report that was compiled by the Commission was sent to a lot of top CEOs across the world and demonstrated to them that they could not maximize the return for their shareholders. They couldn't do their job properly unless they were investing in women, recruiting women, supporting women to stay in work, which means supporting husbands if they want to take time out of work, which is a controversial idea in Nigeria. And it also is about getting women back into work. And it spans the breadth of women working in corporate institutions, as well as those women entrepreneurs that are trying to raise funds for investment.
As a founding member of the Business and Sustainable Development Commission, I recall that announcement was made at the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2016. How has your efforts been able to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals?
The Business and Sustainable Development Commission was chaired by Lord Mark Malloch Brown, and I was one of the 33 CEOs from across the world that was a commissioner on that board. The board produced a really important document that showed CEOs across the world that if they supported sustainable business models, the global GDP would increase by $12 trillion. So if you have a sustainable business model, a new economy business model, and you tap into opportunities in healthcare and urbanization, in green power, etc., you're going to make more money for longer and you're going to outcompete your competitors.
I recall Ladol joined the private sector coalition fight against COVID-19, and I also know that every year you celebrate the World Tuberculosis Day. Tell us how much effort you have put in to reducing the health challenges in Nigeria.
Addressing healthcare challenges in Nigeria is an absolutely essential part of everything that we do and everything that everybody should be doing. And the pandemic that we suffered this year brought that home. Fortunately, Nigeria reacted quickly, and I think we reacted well. We leaned on the learnings that we had from the Ebola crisis, and when at a very early stage the central bank governor, His Excellency Godwin Emefiele, put out a call for private sector to join, our chairman jumped at this chance. And I think that, this is another example of how Nigerians come together really well during a crisis. And we see that over and over again. But we didn't just help at the high level, we also helped on the ground. And the two things that we found were really important were providing palliatives, and we provided some palliatives through the Nigerian Ports Authority, providing PPE to the local communities, providing PPE to the parastatals we're working with, but also providing education, providing people with information and making sure that there was an easy flow of information and an easy flow of ideas throughout this crisis, because people need to be empowered to take care of themselves. And we realized at a very early stage that for our staff, for the community surrounding us in Tarkwa Bay, just giving food and PPE wasn't enough. It was important to also empower them to take care of themselves by giving them the best information we had access to. So we went out into those communities, and as we were giving out these palliatives, we also gave out the best information we had to make everyone feel like this was something that we could combat if we all took it on as a challenge that we had to meet together. So COVID-19 is just the latest of a series of health crises that have been plaguing the world. In Nigeria, we were plagued by polio until just recently when it was eradicated. And that was another huge achievement that Nigeria has made this year. On the Ladol level, we see tuberculosis, we see HIV, we see malaria. These are everyday challenges. We see occupational health challenges. Now, one way that the company is geared up to tackle these challenges is through our certifications and the policies and procedures we put in place. So Ladol was the first company in West and North Africa to be ISO 45001 and ISO 18001 certified. These are international certifications that prove that we're best in class in having policies and procedures implemented on the ground to tackle occupational health and environmental wellness within our environment and our surrounding communities.
Now, a lot of people have heard about the Prince's Trust initiative, which is aimed at reducing unemployment in Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. Tell us about it and how it works.
Ladol is a founding patron, and I sit on the advisory board for the Prince's Trust International. So a lot of people will have heard about the Prince's Trust as a UK charity that is under His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. And a few years ago, the Prince started the Prince's Trust International to achieve the same kind of remarkable results that the Prince's Trust has gotten in getting unemployable young people employed in the UK, to use that same technology that they developed to do this in the UK outside of the United Kingdom. The most important thing about it, and why I was so excited about working with them, is that the Prince's Trust doesn't bring technology from abroad and impose it on the local markets. The Trust started working in West Africa last year. And what happens is there's a local West African board on which our Executive Director Business Development, Jide Jadasimi, sits. That board identifies the local challenges, identifies delivery vehicles, so local charities that then work with the Prince's Trust and use the Prince's Trust technologies to get thousands of people in West Africa employed.
How much impact has the Prince's Trust International Initiative had on beneficiaries, and do you have numbers of how many people have been helped through this initiative?
So the Prince's Trust International only started in 2015, and between then and now, 16,000 young people have been helped by the Prince's Trust International. This, though, we expect to grow exponentially over the next years and decades, because if you look at the Prince's Trust itself, which was started in the UK over 40 years ago, within the UK they've helped over 950,000 young people. And obviously applying that same technology across the world, we can expect to help millions of people over the same time period.
Let's talk about education. Tell us the impact Ladol has made in improving the education sector in Nigeria and, of course, outside Nigeria.
Ladol believes in a meritocracy, and we believe in giving people a helping hand to get as much education as they want or need. Because the worst thing in the world is not to know what you don't know. And what education does is open up so many opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't know about. So we support the local communities in Tarkwa Bay with scholarships for school and university. We also work through the Oxford and Cambridge Club to support young people who are attending Oxford or Cambridge, and we work with the UK government's Chevening Scholarship Programme.
You've had several healthy partnerships, but tell us how this has helped influence implementation of your corporate social responsibility efforts.
Thank you. So partnerships are really important to Ladol. We have an important partnership with a company called Systemic, which is a British advisory group that advises companies on how to become more sustainable and build new economy business models. A Danish company called Niras, which is an engineering company that helped us put together our upgraded master plan, which will turn Ladol into a circular economy, supporting a range of industries from agriculture to green technology. We also have a partnership with an organization called P4G, Partners for Green Growth. This is also Danish, but they're global. And they've helped us turn the master plan for Ladol into a blueprint for sustainable industrialization of Africa. And through the P4G group, the Ladol master plan, or blueprint, if you like, is already being replicated in Kenya and Ethiopia. Is about sustainably industrializing the continent, and this is really important. So we've taken the technology and know-how from the West, we've localized it, and we've engineered local solutions such that in the Ladol setting, we'll be able to support agricultural processing of everything from yam to cassava to flour to cashew nuts. But in processing those products, we are also going to take their waste and use their waste in the future expansion of our power plant, which will be a biomass plant. That will reduce the costs of power within the zone by 90%, but also reduce emissions and take us one step closer to achieving the SDGs.
I'd recall in 2015, Financial Times made you one of the top 25 women to watch in Africa. So tell us, 25 years to come, what should we be looking in terms of things that you will do to help the society?
Thank you. That's a really difficult question to answer because I don't like talking about myself. But what I will say is this. I think, the serious part of the answer is the extent to which my having a platform enables me to deliver the message to Nigerian women, young and old, women who have left work who want to come back into it, young girls who are thinking about whether or not to go to secondary school, to the extent that I can be an example that encourages them to keep going, that encourages them to know that there's no limit to what they can achieve, and more importantly, that tells them that if they do not strike out, if we do not have women's empowerment, women's equality in Nigeria, we cannot achieve national prosperity. And as we go into the second phase of development of Ladol, we're all about building a platform to launch thousands of SMEs and local companies. 80% of the jobs that need to be created in the world will be created by SMEs. So over the next 5 years, we at Ladol will be focused on rolling out our master plan. That master plan will create a platform into which local companies can come and use the infrastructure and facilities we've built to grow their own stories.
Well, I hope more women are inspired to do their best for themselves and, of course, the society. This is where we draw the curtains on Kaleidoscope for today. Thank you so much for watching. You can connect with us via social media handles scrolling on your screen. I'm Anne Nwawodo. Thanks a lot for watching and stay safe.